Greetings everybody and welcome to Madrid Ball. I hope you all are safe and sound. The new year 2022 has dawned upon us. It's the beginning of another year where each of us have specific targets. We all have our resolutions in place and we will be striving to achieve them during the course of the year. But coming to our favorite club Real Madrid, our players have also resolved to deliver a silverware this year, and in that quest they have the first challenge waiting in line to be taken out. The Los Blancos will play Getafe away from home at the Coliseum Alfonso Perez, and all we want is to kickstart the year in style. We want to set things rolling on a winning note. We want to keep stretching the lead at the top of the table, and with the early kickoff that Real Madrid have after a very long time, there's every possibility that we can create an 11-point gap between us and the team positioned second in the table. So we would like to approach this game with positivity. The players have received a crucial break which helped them recharge their batteries, and now, just like always, it's time to get down to business and get things done in a professional manner. So in this video, we'll do the first match preview of the year, we'll go through the words of Carlo Ancelotti, and lastly, we'll end this video by doing the match predictions. So come on, let's get started. And talking about the opposition that we face today, Getafe are a team who have been struggling this campaign. They're currently 16th in the table with 3 wins, 6 draws and 9 losses, and things aren't looking very rosy for this side. They have, however, managed to go on a 5-game unbeaten streak, garnering 2 wins and 3 draws in the process, but definitely Getafe are not up to the level they were a season or 2 ago. And if we just talk about the journey of Getafe in the past 5 years, they obviously were relegated to the Segunda at the end of the 2015-16 campaign. They had a horrid start to life in Segunda as well, but then Getafe turned to a manager who had completely turned things around for the club. They brought in Jose Bordalas in 2016, and this was the pivotal signing in turning the fortune of the club. The manager made an instant impact, securing a promotion to La Liga at the end of the year, and in the subsequent season they finished 8th in 2 seasons and 5th in the 2018-19 campaign. So as you see, the rags to the riches journey of Getafe was very swift. They caught a taste of European football, catching the attention of many news outlets in Europe, and with the small budget that they had, it truly was an emphatic feat. They took everyone by surprise, and it was all down to the tactical astuteness of the manager. Jose Bordalas knew he didn't have the money to bring in world-class players, so ensured that his team made total commitment to working hard on the pitch. They followed a strict fitness regime. They made absolute adherence to the physical style of play. The players would fight for every last ball. They followed the 4-4-2, they closed down the spaces, they kept themselves compact, giving little room to the opposition, and this gave the team a lot of success. They were called out by the opposition managers for their anti-football tactics. They committed a lot of fouls, leaving the opposition fuming, but Getafe didn't care. They did what was needed to do to sustain in the Spanish top flight, and under Bordalas, they, in a way, overachieved, raising the expectations of the fan base. But fast forward in 2021, the honeymoon period came to an end for Getafe. They were again struggling to keep themselves in La Liga. They finished 15th, 4 points clear of the relegation zone, and at the end of the previous season, Bordalas walked away from the club, ending an excellent 5-year tenure. He felt that he achieved all he could with the club. It was time to move on to a new challenge, and the circumstances made Getafe look towards a new era under a new manager, and here they handed the reins to Michel, who had managed the club from 2009 to 2011. The club had expected Michel to take the team forward, but in life, sometimes things don't work the way we anticipate. A similar thing happened with Michel and Getafe. The Getafe players simply couldn't cope with Michel's style of play. It was very different from the style of Bordalas. Michel wanted his players to press high up the pitch and attack. Getafe also signed players who could do that, but that approach just didn't work. The players were confused with the changing tactics and formations. They couldn't score many goals, and with the new tactics, they couldn't maintain the defensive solidity, and what that meant was that in the month of October, Getafe found themselves rock bottom in La Liga. They didn't win a single match under Michel, and this forced the hand on the management. He was eventually sacked, and in his place, Quique Sanchez Flores was given the task of saving the sinking ship. So as you see, Getafe have had to face some turbulence in the past year, and the recent run of undefeated matches has been a great relief for the club and the fan base. They're still facing relegation though, but the club would be hopeful that the new manager will at least ensure the survival in the top flight. And coming to the formation that we may see from Getafe against Real Madrid, it is likely that the manager will use the 5-3-2 formation. Damian Suarez and Matías Oliveira should be the 2 wingbacks. The midfield 3 should comprise of Aran Barre, Carles Alenia and Maximovic, and up top it is likely that Enes Unal and Sandro Ramirez would form the striking pair up front. And now if we talk about Real Madrid, this as you see is the squad list for the game. You can see some of the veterans are back after recovering from COVID, but one of the most important players this season, Vinicius Jr., continues to test positive. Gareth Bale and Dani Carvajal continue to train at the gym facilities, and the final absentee Luka is still absent due to COVID. Moving on, let's hear what the coach had to say in the pre-match press conference. He spoke about Hazard and about the postponement of matches due to COVID. But firstly, while previewing the match, Ancelotti said, "We're just thinking about continuing the fight for all the available trophies. It's an interesting period because we are back playing in La Liga. We've got the Copa on Wednesday, and then we are going to Arabia for the Super Cup too. It's a crucial spell for us, and what's going to happen on the 30th of June is the last thing on my mind." Then Ancelotti was asked about his thoughts on the performance of Hazard and about his involvement in matches to come. And Ancelotti said, "He's fine. He looked absolutely full of confidence in the last match and gave a great account of himself, showing real commitment. He could be a key player for us in the match, but I won't reveal the lineup now. I'm going to wait a bit." Then the coach was asked if the matches should be postponed with the COVID cases on the rise. The reporter specifically was referring to the rant of Xavi, where he was asking La Liga to postpone matches as his squad has also been suffering due to the virus. And on this, Ancelotti said, "Everyone has an opinion, lots of teams are affected by it, but there is a protocol in place and we have to follow that. If it's in line with the protocol, the game should go ahead. It's fair because the pandemic is largely under control. I'm no doctor, but I listened to several scientists who are saying as such, we have to keep going and we can do so." And lastly, Ancelotti was asked what was his wish for the year 2022, and on this the coach said, "My expectation is winning. It's true that I miss La Liga on my CV and I would really like to win it, but above all, I wish everyone health, because in the end, if people around you are doing well, you will do good yourself." So that concludes the press conference thoughts of Carlo Ancelotti, and let's wrap up this video by doing the match predictions. In goal, there were some speculations about the presence of Thibaut Courtois, but since his false positive test, he has been tested negative twice, and it is likely that he would be standing between the sticks. In the backline, we should have the back four of Ferland Mendy, Eder Militao, David Alaba, and since Carvajal continues to stay on the sidelines, Lucas Vazquez should take up the final spot in defense. In the midfield, I expect the Gala midfield to continue, and final attack, Ancelotti has to contemplate on who is going to start in place of Vinicius Jr. One option is to put Eden Hazard on the left. He would be cutting inside, and we can expect him to be more comfortable playing on the left. Ancelotti can also opt to play Rodrigo on the left and Asensio on the right, but I predict that since Asensio and Hazard both have the tendency to cut inside, Ancelotti may opt for Rodrigo on the right wing, who as we know has no problem cutting outside and challenging the defenders in one-on-one situation. So that, as you see, is my predicted lineup, and as for the scoreline predictions, I'll predict Real Madrid 3, Getafe 1. We are the team in form, we have been consistently churning out the results, and let's hope Real Madrid emerge victorious in the first match of 2022. And that is all I have here. Do let me know what are your thoughts ahead of the game, and what scoreline are you predicting right in the comments below. I'll see you soon. Till then, take care, glory to Madrid, and as always, a la Madrid.